Oh, hey, Steve.
Oh, hey, Mike.
Well, what's wrong, buddy?
Well, I just got this new water bottle, but it just looks so plain.
Well, have I got the store for you. Introducing the Wild Edible World Podcast Merch Store.
Wowie wow!
It's the merch store where you can get all of your favorite podcasts merch for all your decorating purposes.
How do I find that?
Go to wildedibleworldpod.shopify.com or go to any of our Instagram and media accounts and view the link in the bio.
Wowie wow!
Look out, cool people alert. We're back on the Wild Edible World podcast with Michael and Steve. Wait, I'm Michael.
And I'm Steve, but we are both here, that's true.
Okay.
So we have a special treat for you this episode.
Oh, man, you got to find something else
I know,
to say,
I gotta say something. So, spring right around the corner.
It actually is here this time.
Life is all
Sunny.
around us.
Yeah, it's balmy. We're sitting on a bridge overlooking a babbling brook.
Enjoying a libation courtesy of Mad Hatchet Brewing in Shorewood, Illinois.
Yes, sir. It's yummy. And we're here to talk to you about sprouts.
Sprouts, you say?
Sprouts, I say.
So sprouts are multifaceted, fascinating little suckers.
I saw tons of them when I went on a small walk.
They're all over.
we got here.
From where we're sitting on the bridge, you can see all sorts of little things.
Tis the season.
Tis the season.
On
for
our break,
sprouts.
we'll go on a little walk, and we'll try to list all the ones that we see.
And we might eat some because we like eating things.
And we'll talk about eating sprouts.
So I get over this episode, we're going to talk about sprouts, as in sprouts that you can sprout in your kitchen.
Yeah. So there's most people think of I bought sprouts at a farm stand before too. You know, like it's in like a bed of moss or something like that. What is it like? What do you typically grow sprouts on?
Nothing.
Oh, what?
So you do have the option of so for my pea shoots, when I grow peas for shoots, which is sprouty,
and that's just like buying pea seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There are some that are specifically for shoots, but I like to use a little bit of soil with those, or soilless mix even, and with others it's just a jar and water. You don't need any soil, you don't need anything along those lines. So I guess getting to the origins of what a seed is everything that like organism needs to properly become what it is.
So it's really packed in, nutrient dense.
Super dense. And there's this magical, I'm not even sure I'm sure there's a name for it somewhere, but there's this magical thing that happens when a seed sprouts and you get the little shoot and the little root, and it's this magical thing that happens where this little seed automatically becomes like this super nutrient dense, full of vitamins and enzymes.
Because just eating the seed isn't going to give you that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. There's a magical thing that actually happens. I'm not being cute.
Yeah.
I am being cute. But there's a magical moment that where this nutrition is just there, man.
Pops out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if I were an actual scientist and not just on Instagram, that there's actually an explanation for this. But it's just this. It's a beautiful thing, and it's absolutely fascinating. So there are sprouts that you can grow in your home: broccoli sprouts, alfalfa, zucchini beans, mung beans. There's a ton of them that you can grow in your home that are all a little bit different. They all have a little bit different items on the nutrient spectrum, and why they're good for you, how they can be advantageous for you, and you can do all that in your kitchen with nothing more than a jar. Maybe poke a few holes in the lid just for easy drainage, because I mean, each sprout's going to be a little bit different. Each seed, rather, because some of them take 48 hours to germinate. Some of them take a week. But you take this jar, you soak your seeds, and then you rinse them every day. And that rinsing kind of gets rid of any of the organisms that could be like deteriorating, like eating at like the seeds themselves, and fresh water. So
you just rinse it and then you drain it completely, or you leave a little bit of water?
Yeah.
Okay.
Completely. And any water that is already on the actual seed itself or sprout itself is plenty.
Wow.
And you'll see them slowly sprout, and they'll look like a tiny jumble of in alfalfa, for instance. They'll look like a tiny jumble of like white shoots and seeds still, and then eventually the rest of the seeds will sprout, and then they'll get a little bit of green on the tip, and there's different levels of enjoyment. So like some people like them a little bit younger. Some people like them once they have that little bit of green on the tip, where they start to develop cotyledon leaves and whatnot. But there's so many different options and opportunities.
I feel like, as someone that doesn't grow them, I feel like just seeing it happen a lot, and just kind of, I guess, eating them myself, because I've harvested them. I've never actually grown it. But as far as like how long you let them grow, you basically, I feel like it's just like 3 or 4 inches tall, just long enough so you could get a pair of scissors in there and like clip it. Well, I guess I'm still talking about dealing with a substrate.
Yeah.
So whenever you're fruiting these just like in a jar,
yeah, you can eat the whole damn thing.
You just eat the whole damn thing.
You don't have to cut anything, and that's better, because I like to think about it as in, so if you're eating lettuce, for instance, you're cutting away the leaves of lettuce, but you're not getting any of that root system, and as soon as you cut it, it starts to degrade. Starts to turn into mush that everyone has in that clamshell in their back of their refrigerator 100%. That they bought 2 weeks ago because they were going to eat that salad, but then that salad never came to fruition.
Why you gotta come at me like that, Steve?
you and everyone else in the world. But a seed is still in its growing, in its living stage,
and it's whole,
or a sprout rather. Sprout, it's still in that growing stage. So you're getting the root system, you're getting every part of it in this magical moment, the creation of life, from this little like blueprint package.
God, that's beautiful.
It's a cool thing, man. And nutritionally, there are several parts of the sprout that are, so like broccoli sprouts, for instance, there's more protein and more vitamin E. This is a great example. So a cup of broccoli sprouts in comparison to a cup of broccoli. A cup of broccoli sprouts has 28 micrograms of vitamin E, whereas a cup of like broccoli has like 1.5 micrograms.
What the hell?
Like over 20 times in a sprout.
Wow.
Because it's all this necessary energy and vitamins and things like that packed into one magical little.
And it uses those to make the broccoli
to help
eat
the plant
for
grow.
Different reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. Wow.
It's a crazy thing.
That is really cool, man.
Yeah.
I've thought about several times growing microgreens, doing little sprouts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the idea that we're going to get to. In mostly, I guess, more in the second half, maybe, but I guess I'll start talking about it now, is that like you can do the same exact thing with invasive species seeds or wild seeds of edible plants that and have verified have edible sprouts and are an edible plant. So you just do the same exact thing, and you can get all these this whole different spectrum of flavor, a whole different spectrum of nutrients too, I think. Like, we already talk about how wild food is more nutrient dense in general than anything you're going to buy at the store, and I think that would hold true to even the sprouts compared to normal agricultural sprouts.
Sure, yeah, no, I agree.
Which is a crazy thing.
If you're thinking of something that's handled and groomed and manicured by us to grow the perfect ear of corn or the perfect blah, 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 and something that's manicured by Mother Nature,
which is going to gather enough nutrients to like survive.
Sure, yeah.
A whole different concept. It's going to need a lot more energy as opposed to something that has been, like you said, cultivated for a visual appeal, which almost all of our food is.
Or just like to be massive, Or
to be big. Yeah. They don't even taste that good. They're just huge.
Exactly. And you were like dropping that juicy content before we actually even started recording, and you made a really great example of garlic mustard and how if you find some, you can harvest the seed and grow it in a more controlled environment and eat the shit out of those sprouts, you know?
Yep. Just making sure that you don't spread it at all, as it is wildly invasive. But when you're out there mushroom hunting, so in the next couple of weeks, I know a lot of you are going to be out there looking for morels. You're definitely going to come across some of these big carpets of sprouts. And what I venture you to try is to bend down and like break a couple of those leaves, because it's going to smell. And if garlic mustard as a sprout still smells like garlic mustard.
Heck yeah.
So you break it up, and if it's got that scent, man, grab yourself a handful and take them home, uproot them, get them out of the ground, and then for even further, next fall, or this coming fall, I guess, whenever the plants have matured, because we can't take care of all of them. If you find some mature plants, gather those seeds, and then have yourself another round of sprouts. Like
you should do like a play on a fistful of dollars, but like a fistful of sprouts. Just like you all westerned out, like grabbing a fistful of sprouts, punk. Like something cool like that.
All right, you heard it here first, folks.
Request,
I gotta
formally requested.
All right, I gotta get a whole cowboy outfit.
Punk.
I already have the chaps. Just kidding. We'll see you guys in the next half. We're going to take a break, have a little walk around.
Sigh.
What's wrong, buddy?
Well, I just realized this mushroom supplement I bought isn't actually made with mushrooms. It's made with something called myceliated grain.
Myceliated grain?
Oh, no!
I'm sorry to tell you, buddy, but myceliated grain is a sure sign of a poor quality mushroom supplement.
Well, dang. I wanted mushrooms, not brown rice. What should I do?
Well, you should support a small batch producer from right here in the Midwest. Keweenaw Apothecary.
Keweenaw Apothecary? Tell me more.
Keweenaw Apothecary specializes in high-quality mushroom extracts from Michigan, and they always use real mushrooms, never myceliated grain.
That sounds like exactly what I've been looking for. Where can I order?
Well, you can find them at keweenawapothecary.etsy.com. That's KEWEENAW apothecary.etsy.com. Be sure to read their many excellent reviews.
Thanks, buddy. I don't want no low-quality mushroom products from a factory. I want Keweenaw Apothecary.
Wowie wow! So back to our topic about sprouts. We got some. We wandered around the woods. We saw a bunch of stuff.
We did.
There's the ground is definitely warming up. The plants are waking up. Seeing some of the buds start to kind of beef up a little bit. Starting to see some onions. Like the onions are some of the first ones that are out, and they are out, aren't they?
Look at that guy.
Look at that. Oh, you got a tick on you. Wow, Steve's got a tick on him live on air.
Son of a bee.
Yeah, that sucks. So yeah, keep that in mind while you guys are out there, folks, with your tick protection.
along with sprouts, ticks are also
waking up
among us.
Yeah, waking up and getting out. So yeah, we'll definitely be sure to do a thorough check after we're finished recording. So I'm glad you found that.
Yeah, me too.
So sprouts, we're going to talk a little bit more about the type of sprouts that you can find out right about now and in the near future. So sprouting right now, we got all sorts of dandelion leaves.
Yeah, buddy.
Which I guess we'll go ahead and take a second and munch on some, because we are familiar with dandelion flavor later on in the season. But
these are so young.
We found some of these, I think these are probably a first year rosette.
Yeah.
And it's grown in a shady path, and it's March 1st. So we're talking really early on in the season. So we're going to have a little nibble.
Oh, dude.
And it really is kind of a nibble, but I mean, I feel like I'm just eating lettuce. There's like no bitterness whatsoever.
And it has that same like lettuce sweetness. You know, not sweet in the traditional sense, but sweet as in lettuce is sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's delicious, man.
Yeah, there's not even really that much like milk coming out of the stem. I've got a little stem still left in my hand, and it's not even that liquidy. So, yeah, this is a really good time to get some of these like younger plants that are going to be a lot fresher in taste, a lot less bitter, because the sun exposure is so low still this early on in the year. So that's a lot to do with it. So beyond that, we also saw the violets are waking up. So violets are one of the first flowers that you're going to be able to see when you're on your paths on these lovely spring days. And violets are, I think, a pretty well-known plant, but they're the color of purple.
Yeah.
You can make a wonderful syrup from them.
Yeah, really pretty.
So it's a gorgeous color, but it also has color compounds in them that are reactive to pH level. So that's the famous, color-changing drink that you've seen Black Forager do, I'm sure, where you just add a little bit of lemon juice and it turns super pink.
Yeah, I remember the first time I made the violet syrup, I thought that I'd screwed it up because it was like very drab and very like blue rather than purple, and I was like, what did I do?
You have a low pH water.
Yeah, and so I dropped a few drops of lemon in it, and it brightened right up.
So my little trick with that is that you use like reverse osmosis water, which is usually pretty neutral, and I don't know, maybe it removes all the dissolved solids in your water, which I think is pretty key to what I got, which was a ridiculously vibrant, deep, dark purple. It was like the most gorgeous syrup I've ever seen in my life. And I have some evidence of that on my Instagram. If you guys look back early, I think it was late April or mid-April of last year, I made a violet syrup and did a little photo shoot because it was just so dang pretty. I mean, it was so purple, it was almost black.
Wow.
Like I had a black stopper in a clear glass bottle, and it was like you had to put it in the light to see it was like it was really purple.
Yeah.
So there are ways you can get this really dense purple color, and then yes, you can play with like the color a little bit and add some acids, and that'll brighten it up to the pink edge of the spectrum. But I guess what we really mean to talk about is the earliest stuff that pops up, which is the leaves. You can eat the leaves too.
Yeah.
And they already kind of have a really mild flavor, but they have a lot of medicinal qualities. They're really nutritional as well. So get out there and try some of those. Put those on you can already start making your own salads out here, folks. We got lettuce with the dandelions. We got a little bit of different lettuce with the violet leaves. We have a garnish with the wild onions that are popping up. And so just because we're talking about them, I just want to offer another quick reminder that all you got to do is do a little scratch and sniff to be sure that what you have is indeed an onion. If it smells like onion, it's an onion. If it doesn't smell like onion,
don't eat it. Don't put it in your mouth.
Don't eat it. It's not an onion. Unless you're sure it's something else that is edible, but that's a caveat for experts. Beyond that, a lot of stuff, you're going to see some stuff waking up soon, like rose. So we have a lot of invasive wild rose, and there are leaves that come out in these really tight basils that you can pick off and use as a tea. So you just like bruise them, ferment them for a day or two, dry them out, and then you have something that resembles like a mild black tea or a flavored tea. You're going to see ramps. Obviously, ramps are coming up soon.
Oh, yeah. We saw the May apples popping.
We did see the base of some May apples, which look like bamboo.
Or like a white asparagus, almost.
Or a white... That's totally it. Yeah, it looks like a white asparagus. And so if you run into those, don't eat them. No, They do look kind of crunchy and delicious, but they are not edible, unfortunately. The fruit is, but that's not for several months away. On top of that, you can also find Dame's Rocket is almost always out there.
Sure.
But it's going to be kind of reinvigorating, becoming a little bit more fresh, and you're going to be able to find the young, fresher leaves that don't have... sometimes Dame's Rocket leaves can have a little bit of a texture to them.
Sure.
That I don't necessarily mind, but some other people are texture eaters, so you can find these young, fresh leaves that don't have any texture and are much more like what you would expect. Just keep in mind that it is a brassica, and that it is going to be probably on the spicy end.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
All brassica seeds are going to be kind of spicy, right?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit?
Mm-hmm.
So broccoli sprouts, are they spicy?
A little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Not like you're going to... Not like a radish or anything like that, but they definitely have... I mean, they're definitely going to have a little bit more of a kick than like alfalfa or anything like that.
Right on. Good to know. And I think we could probably just wrap it up from here. Just make sure, as far as like invasive species, make sure that the plants that you're gathering are edible and that you're gathering the seeds at a good time and that they're mature enough and that you are being careful whenever you're collecting seeds. So I try to use two hands where I'll both are facing palm upward, and I'll be collecting seeds with one hand by twisting the branch. I guess I'm thinking specifically of like mustard seeds, and I'll be collecting them into one hand, but I'll be holding my second hand underneath the other hand just to make sure that none of them fall, because they'll just sprout anywhere and everywhere. And at some point you can't really help it. So, only worry about it so much, but do always, we always want to make sure that the people that listen to this show are mindful collectors of nature, and that we always kind of contribute back in the care that we use.
Yeah, just do what you can,
Do what you can.
Yeah.
That's our motto here. Do what you can. Also, eat your nuts.
Eat your nuts.
Also, sweet life.
We thought what was that really good one we just thought
I don't know. We're still trying to workshop some fun stickers for you guys. We'll try and get a sticker pack together soon, or some patches or something, so you can rep us in a goofier way. Not this dry basic logo, our dry badass logo.
Yeah, our logo's fucking awesome.
Our logo is cool, but we like a little variety, a little novelty. So,
sure.
Well, all that chit chat done. I say we move on with our evening. Are you satisfied, Steve?
Absolutely. If anyone out there has any questions about sprouts, or how to sprout in your house, how to sprout for your upcoming spring garden, just reach on out. We'll help you out.
Where can they find you, Steve?
You can find me at Snoop Doggy Dogwood on Instagram. Also, Stevie Cantu, like Eevee, the Pokemon. Stevie Cantu.
Oh, giving out the personal.
Yeah, you can hit me up on my personal.
Spicy.
Yeah. And then they can find us, of course, at Wild Edible World Podcast. Pod. Right?
Yeah, no cast, just the pod.
Keep your casts.
All pod, no cast.
Yeah. There's another one, yeah.
And if you have any questions for me, you can find me at edible_Illinois on all platforms. Always feel free to reach out. Love you guys.
Miss you already.
Miss you guys already, too. I just want to make sure I am included in that. We both miss you.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, hey, Steve.
Oh, hey, Mike.
Well, what's wrong, buddy?
Well, I just got this new water bottle, but it just looks so plain.
Well, have I got the store for you. Introducing the Wild Edible World Podcast Merch Store.
Wowie, wow!
It's the merch store where you can get all of your favorite podcasts merch for all your decorating purposes.
How do I find that?
Go to wildedibleworldpod.shopify.com or go to any of our Instagram and media accounts and view the link in the bio.
Wowie, wow!